Many houses and apartments here in South Riverdale have been here for decades. And that's just like so many of the neighborhoods we visit on your community. But this evening, we're looking at two new communities being planned that are in areas where homes have never been before. Looking at the Portlands from the air, this area has changed drastically in recent years. The expansion of the Don River has been the biggest development, as has bringing nature to a paved-over part of Toronto.
It's one of these dream projects that you get to work on that really engages with the city as a whole.
Jed Kilbourne with Waterfront Toronto is helping lead the efforts of developing what is now a massive island.
Villiers Island is going to be a home to about 15,000 people, about 9,000 units.
The vision here is long-term.
We're looking at a 20 to 25-year plan for the island. Over the next little while, we're aiming to have the first units being occupied in 2031.
With that many people in what is now an industrial area, it means filling a lot of needs.
There's going to be a school, a library, a community center, all of these things that would help build a complete community.
The work to date has been focused on minimizing flooding. As consultation continues, there's a call for designs to build the sustainable infrastructure needed to support all this.
We lead with landscape. We'd love to see more timber. A lot of it has to do with planting strategies, looking at more opportunities to harness rainwater, really prioritizing active transit and pedestrian mobility.
If you think that sounds like a lot, prepare for a second community nearly as large, dubbed the McCleary District, just southeast of where the Gardner and the DVP meet.
Very rarely do you find an opportunity like this, of this scale, that is primarily under public control or public ownership.
Scott Pennington is with Create TO. The agency is responsible for managing and developing city lands.
This is all kind of uncharted terrain.
Mostly brownfields, 5,000 to 6,000 units could be added. Early renderings sparked some criticisms online about streets being too wide and a lack of density. A public meeting on the plan is set for September 18th.
We want to make sure that this is as compact a development as we possibly can, but also preserving enough space for all the uses.
The developments could have 20 to 30% of the units designated as affordable housing.
We recognize that there's a housing crisis, and we kind of wanted to make sure that the communities that we're building can adequately address that crisis.
This is such a big deal for the city, Nick, and could be done so well, but it's all about the execution, and thousands will be down there. But how are they going to get around?
Yes, and absolutely. And there's already a problem in this area. If you think about it, the on-ramp and off-ramp from the Gardner, that has been removed as part of construction. There's already busy east-west traffic on Eastern, Queen, Lakeshore, Dundas. So that's something that is already affecting this area. The solution is twofold. First, on those two developments that we talked about in that story, there is going to be a vast network of roads for vehicles, but also transit lanes, cyclists, and pedestrians. The other part of this solution is the building of the Ontario line. There are 3 stops that are going to service this area. The first one is East Harbour. That is going to also be a GO station. So that's going to be a big help for the McCleary District, for Villiers Island. Right here in the heart of South Riverdale, there's going to be a station at on Queen Street at Riverside and Leslieville, and then at the top there's Gerrard Station. So by the time that first building opens up on Villiers Island, the Ontario line should be near completion.